Hello and welcome to Stealth Traders. Today we're going to be looking at a really interesting study that will help you trade. I believe it's just amazing. There's nothing out there that can help you look at targets that retrace without using an absolute Fibonacci, which gives you false readings. And let's just look at it right now here on the 5-minute on the ES. And as traders, we need an edge. And by taking advantage of the concealed support and resistance of price uncovered by dynamic target lines, you can make it your edge. And how do we do that? It's really simple here. You have on these highlighted lines, this top line is an overnight high, seen by OH. First time it was touched, last time it was touched, how many times it was touched. Okay, it was touched once. Comes down, here's your session high, 1261. It fails that. In order for price to go higher, you can be a novice trader. It has to break this support and resistance right here. It fails to do that. There's your short signal. Right here off of these failures, you put your stop right here. And then you're loading up your bank account. It's very precise. From this point, this will be your next target. If you wanted to just manage a trade, you would bring your stop down to here. As price moves down and breaks through the next dynamic target line, you would bring your stop into here, locking in profit. So you simply have just amazing targets on the way down. There's nothing else like it. I get so excited when I see things like this that we develop to help traders. Sorry for that. That's an alarm for one of my other studies. But just looking at this, you don't even have to be a wave counter or understand price action. You can see right here that it's failing. If you are more of a professional trader or an advanced trader, it's going to even help you more because you realize that the pressure now is to the downside because any failure, it's going to go in the direction of that failure, especially when you cannot break through this resistance here. And it's even more important, while we actually have this listed here in our data box, overnight highs, session highs are very important. When price came up to retest this and it failed, we're looking at a downward trend. And we have other studies that work very well with this. I'm just as excited about this because it almost sound goofy. This dynamic target lines you need with every one of the studies that we have because it gives you precise retracements in real time. This is all happening in the market right now. As you can see right down here on this 5-minute, you retraced, you failed, so now you're short again, and in order for this to go higher, you've got to break through this target. So you have two targets here. This is on the downside, and it retested the 2031, which was a low. This was a session low, and it bounced off of that. So it wants to retest that again, and this is your downward target. So if you're in this trade, you're managing it down. Even though the market's a little slow right now, it's in between the morning and afternoon session. But we can trade on any time frame with this. Let's even look at, we'll go, let's go to a 4-hour and just see how dynamic it is on a 4-hour. You know, the longer you're in a trade, let's get some more days in there. Let's go 80 days. So once again, you can see it even clearer on the 4-hour. You have failures here on this top. It hits at 1, 2, 3. That's 2089, 2088. and you can see the number of times that it was touched, and now it's failing, and there's your short. So if you're a wave counter or understand price action, you can see where you're going short. If you're not, you just look at the lines that are telling you dynamically that price wants to retrace this move. Very simple. Let's look at it on the 6. Well, let's just look at it on the DIA. Works very well there. This is on a 4-hour, so once again you have the same signal. You can choose to go short. Look how long you're in this trade. That's a lot of money. We'll look at one more contract. Let's take a look at oil and see how it performs with oil. So lately there's been a tremendous downward trend in oil, but you can see here on the 4-hour, this is the market session today. We got the 49.52, and there's a double top. So on the 4-hour at 1900, you could have been short, and there's your target. I would be out of that trade. That's enough profit for me. And let's look at oil. We'll go down to, let's go down to a 15-minute. So once again here, 49.61. That's an overnight high, OH overnight high. Hit it once. Same pattern. It's failing there. So you're short. You can use multiple time and tick to get a precise entry on this downward move. Let's look at tick. Let's see how it performs with tick. All of our studies here at Stealth Traders are fractal, and you can look that up. It just means it works in any time or tick. It's not specific to one time frame. It works on anything. Let's go to a 333 and just do some smaller moves on this volatile, a little more volatile time frame. Or you can use a 333 in conjunction with 987 or 5-minute. So as we see right in this area here, we can choose any one of the dynamic target lines. I can also show you in the parameters, we have historical, which even gives us more targets to look at. I particularly this morning was trading with just the green, but as you can see here, from well, let's take it even more closely at 10:03. You have bottoming out here on this move. We don't really know where it's going, so it's failing to go below the 47 and the 47.56. So now there would be a double bottom failure, and we would go long at 47. Right now we're at 47.88. But once it failed in here, you either want to go short or get out of this trade. And the same thing here. You have a double top. It fails to go through our dynamic target line at 48.02. Touched it twice, and then we're short in here. And these are your targets on the way down. And you can stay in and move your stop once you break through the targets on the way down. We like to be very precise, make trading enjoyable, where you're not frustrated and drawing down on your bank account. Now, another thing that's important in the parameters, before you use the study, you have to set up session time. I'm on the West Coast, so it's Pacific Standard Time. The market opens up at 6:30 a.m. and session ends at 1 o'clock. So if you're on the East Coast, it's 9:30 to 4:30. Just to understand where uh, you have to set in your time wherever your zone is. Discussing a little bit about how we have historical lines, and in the data box, this can be made smaller by moving showing date and time. It'll just show the price and how many times it was touched. If you have multiple charts up and they're side by side, this is good to use because it stays out of the way. So as you know, first time it was touched, last time it was touched, um, and how many times it was touched. If it touches several times, multiple times, there could be resistance support. It either will take off, or in other instances it will fail. Simply put, you need to know where support and resistance are, and dynamic target lines helps you find that in such a precise way. Thank you for listening. Have a wonderful trading session and best of trades.